Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
And I'm Carol Mitchell, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
Joining us are Youth Poet Laureates. Welcome. Hey everyone.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and how long you've been writing poetry. Let's start with Sada.
Hi, everyone. My name is Thada, and I'm the inaugural Maryland Youth Poet Laureate and the 2024 Montgomery County, Maryland Youth Poet Laureate. And I've been writing for as long as I can remember. I've always been like reading, and so I've always kind of been writing. But I really came to poetry in like middle school, because I had a really incredible teacher who introduced me to it and kind of made me see how important it was.
Wonderful. Mia?
Hi, I'm Mia Dimina. I'm the Arlington Youth Poet Laureate. I've been writing short stories and creatively for also a really long time, but I would say poetry probably more 5 or 6 years.
Okay, wonderful. Lovely to hear that. And Isaac?
Hi, I'm Isaac Yebio. I'm the Washington, D.C. Youth Poet Laureate, and I've been writing since I was around 5 years old in all different kinds of mediums and creative short stories, poetry, essays, and
Wonderful, wonderful. It's so good to hear that. There are so many people nowadays who have writing as a career and they started when they were so young. So it's also great to have some young writers and upcoming wordsmiths among us today. So fabulous to have everyone here. Now, I'm sure our viewers would love to know how one becomes a Youth Poets Laureate. So please let us know.
Yeah, to become a Youth Poet Laureate, I think you really just have to create kind of a portfolio of the poetry, any writing you've done. And from there, I would see what opportunities are available to you locally. Like for me, it was with Words, Beats, and Life applying to their Youth Poet Laureate program and doing an interview and some other portfolio building kind of things. And that was how I applied to be a Youth Poet Laureate.
Awesome. Let's go to the next one, Tara.
Yeah, I think that kind of covers it. Just like um last year, like the year before this, I was Youth Poet Ambassador for Montgomery County. And so those they kind of like support with the Poet Laureate. So I would also say starting with that is like a great introduction, and it also gave me like a lot of experience doing spoken word ahead of when I became Youth Poet Laureate. And so I think just like doing spoken word performances, like going to coffee shops and like open mic nights and participating and things like that are like great prep ahead of like applying. But yeah, basically what Mia said.
Awesome. And any more insight on that, Isaac?
building on what both of my other previous youth Poet Laureates said, I was involved with Words, Beats, and Life throughout high schoul, and that really gave me a stable like foundation of like building my writing abilities, and that helped me a lot when I was applying for the that helped me a lot when I was applying for the Poet Laureate position and when I was building my portfolio for submission.
Okay, great. I
Awesome.
mean, that's really interesting to hear all of that and to hear how you get into this position. And I'm sure it's really interesting to some of our viewers who may be looking towards that sort of experience as well. So maybe they would love to hear, I'm sure, what are some of the experiences that you've had as poet laureate and what opportunities has being the Youth Poet Laureates afforded you? Sada, would you like to start?
Sure, yeah. I would say like definitely the spoken word performances, like we definitely perform a lot. And so I would say that's definitely a big part of the role. And I kind of think about it as like we are performing, but I think a big part of our like responsibility is bringing writing, like creative writing and poetry to other people. And so I think we're kind of trying to perform and share like how accessible it can be. So I think that's one part. And then also just like the community, like I really appreciate one of my favorite parts of the role is how like Mia, Isaac, and I can all kind of work together. So like all of our performances we go to as a group, we meet like every other week with Chloé and like practice our pieces and like share them with each other. So it's really like a collaborative effort. And so I think that's like a really big part. of the role. And then for the Maryland Youth Poet Laureate role that I'm in, we have like institutes with all the state Youth Poet Laureates across the country. And so that's been like an incredible place to find community and to meet other like writers who are just as passionate as I am. And so I would say that the community is probably my favorite part of the role and something that really like fulfills and like fills my tank.
Okay, great. I mean, Mia, what sort of experiences have you had?
Yeah, like Donna mentioned, we've had the opportunity to perform at a lot of really exciting events, like Brave New Voices was our most recent one. We've also performed at the Kennedy Center. And beyond that, also like Donna mentioned, there's just getting to meet other Youth Poet Laureates and other writers in my immediate community. There aren't a lot of people that write creatively or that I can really share my poetry with. So having Donna and Isaac is a really great part of the experience, and just being able to collaborate so much with our writing and send pieces back and forth with each other has been a really nice part of the experience.
Lovely. And Isaac?
Well, my favorite part of being the my favorite part of being the Youth Poet Laureate has been so far the platform it's afforded me and the community I've been able to like build and reach out to. Recently, I was invited to perform at the Flower Mart in Washington, D.C. And not only was I able to perform on such an amazing stage, but I was also able to talk to so many members afterwards and get to hear their thoughts on poetry and the poetry that they've engaged in. And it was really just great to see like in person how my like performing, like how my writing was able to make an impact and inspire other people to want to write as well. So that's really been the best part of being a Youth Poet Laureate so far.
Yeah, it does sound like a pretty amazing experience to be able to reach these people and to perform and to present your work in these different forums. So given that platform, what themes do you all like to explore in your poems, and what issues do you want to use this platform to address? Sada?
Yeah, so like around the kind of, because a big part of the Youth Poet Laureate role is kind of combining art with advocacy, so like civic engagement. And so more recently, like in the role, I've started writing a lot more about like social justice issues. Like I wrote a recent poem during one of our like group sessions around like gun violence and the impact that's had. So like that's been a theme that I've kind of thought about more lately. And I've always like kind of followed those types of stories pretty closely, but now I'm kind of like diving into more of the feelings that I like, how I feel when I see these stories, like the helplessness and a lot of those things that like come from learning of all these different tragedies. So I think that's like a big thing I focus on in terms of like current events. But from like a non-social justice side, I tend to write a lot about like memory and aging and like the passage of time. Because like both sets of my grandparents live close by and I'm really close to them, and like seeing them decline in health has definitely like been hard to process. And so I kind of use my writing as a way to kind of think through that. And then the other theme I write about is like my love of and of nature. Like I've just always loved the outdoors. And so I often combine that with like the themes of the passage of time and aging. And so that's one of the reasons why I was like really excited about the group poem we all did together that focused on like the outdoors.
Okay, that's really interesting. Mia?
Yeah, I'm also very inspired by nature in my writing. I think no matter what I'm writing about, that kind of imagery always shows up, which I think lends itself to my main advocacy issue a lot, which is environmental preservation and climate change. I think a lot of that comes from the work I do in parks and around me, removing invasive plants and just trying to kind of improve the environment around me. So that is an issue that I'll definitely be focusing on.
Yeah, and Isaac. Love to
Uh,
hear about yours.
Similar to both of the previous Youth Poet Laureates, I write a lot about environmental preservation and drawing from the work I've done on like regarding environmental advocacy. But I've also write a lot about different aspects relating to my identity. A lot of my poetry ties into my experiences as an African living in America. And recently, a lot of my poetry has delved into concepts such as Afro-surrealism, Afro-pessimism, and Afrofuturism.
That is wonderful to hear. So many wonderful themes that you're exploring and so many ways of touching into so many different people's souls, hearts, minds, and everything with your words. So thank you so much for all the work that you've been doing in this space and being able to connect in that way. And I know all of you said that these are things so very close to your heart. So I know that going on stage and being able to perform is such a great way as well as, connecting to our audience. So we would love for that connection with our audience to continue. So for the viewers, we are pleased to present a special performance by our guests on preservation.
Cracks and conch shells, like flowers that grow between slabs of sidewalk.
We pick the wild dandelions and weave them into a crown. Imagine we are royalty, ruling over the grass just for this cloudy, rain-soaked afternoon.
We pray on the white seeds like a lit birthday candle, whisper a wish into the air. Let the trees become something holy and their branches trace their path through the air. You can say your hopes out loud here. We won't tell.
We learn to hold things close the same way, like river water carrying the reflection of moon, gentle yet firm, anchors roots, guardians of the dirt beneath us and the life within us, knowing that to hold means to keep at arm's length.
Knowing that every morning our colors have changed.
Call it preservation. Each memory surrounded by the gloss of dew on morning grass. Don't be scared. The world is kind. These are the kinds of blades that don't cut. It's rare to come across something you can both see and touch.
From afar, the plastic and styrofoam wrappers resemble teardrops, all clear and shiny. Have you ever seen the world cry? It's like watching a mother break down.
Call it degradation.
We learn to crash and release like sandpipers. This is how to withstand all types of weather. If the mountains can age, so can we. The white hair is nothing to be scared of. The skin stretches. This place is strong.
Remember how it snows in Colorado every winter and the rock survives. Time is a tide these days, crashing against our skin and pulling us under. Everything around us is water, forming fluid, changing shape, something we must preserve. Like this laughter right here, rocking across the sloped shores of our curved bodies, a kind of happiness we can live with.
Light soaks into this soil like touch, raising our hands like a burning forest, while the sun sets on our future, brushing red across a smoky sky. This is what it's like to live in an hourglass, to watch sand drain through the ashes beneath our bare feet.
Call it perseverance.
Thank you, Youth Poet Laureates, for sharing that poem with us. Joining us now is Chloé from Transformative Changes. Chloé, what would you like to share with our viewers?
Hey y'all, thanks so much for having us. My name is Chloé Edwards, and I'm a social entrepreneur and founder of Transformative Changes with the mission to defy the status quo in pursuit of justice and human liberation. As an activist and an artist, I'm really proud to serve as the DMV Youth Poet Laureate Advisor for Words, Beats, and Life. We know that poetry shifts the culture, values, and norms that shape us all. A little bit about Words, Beats in Life. I'm proud to be a social entrepreneur because what we try to show youth is that they can make a career out of entrepreneurship and artistry. And so that's a prime example of our mission. We are DC's longest running, dopest hip hop based arts educational nonprofit. And we break down barriers that keep our city's young creatives from taking full advantage of the opportunities that the nation's capital has to offer. We empower artists through our programs, such as our Words, Beats, and Life Academy, and also lovers of expression or aspiring artists to create systems that demonstrate positive change through collective brilliance. Our programs equip youth creatives, practicing artists, and scholars to move from theory to practice, and we harness the power of imagination to reshape the lives of the communities that we serve. So our Youth Poet Laureate program is just one of our programs that's part of our poetry team that WBL offers. It's a joint program in partnership with Urban Word, New York City, and Words, Beats, and Life. And we also get support from the local government and partnering organizations. We aim to identify young writers and leaders who are not just committed to artistry, but also civic and community engagement, youth activism, diversity, and education across the DMV. And what makes our program so special is that we're able to bring not DC, Maryland, and Virginia together and create this cohort of youth, which is unique from the other Youth Poet Laureate programs.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Chloe, and thank you for the important work that you are doing and continue to do. Please let our viewers know how they can learn more about everyone here and what's upcoming. So we start with you, Chloe, then we'll go down the line.
Awesome. So where you can find some more information about Words, Beats, and Life is www.wblinc.org. And if you want to check out our Youth Poet Laureates and their cover stories, you can also visit www.wblinc.org/DMVYPL. We are also Words, Beats, and Life on all social media platforms, so definitely give us a follow. And to check out my community artists and activist work, feel free to follow me too at Chloé I. Edwards across all social media programs, or visit my website, www.chloeiedwards.com. Thank you. And I'm going to pass the mic to Thada. Let us know where we can get some information on where folks can follow your good work.
Awesome. So my Instagram handle, which has like a lot of my writing work, is Thada_Prakash06. So that's TARA_PRAKASH06. And then my author website is thadaprakashwrites.com. So that's TARAPRAKASHWRITES.com. And I'll pass it to Mia now.
You can find me on Instagram at Mia Dimina. That's MIADIMINA, and Isaac.
You can find me on Instagram at YebioAU. That is YEBIOAU.
Great. And viewers, you can look in the description below for the links. So thank you so much to Thada, Mia, Isaac, Chloe. It's really been a pleasure learning about this Poet Laureate program and hearing your poetry. So thank you so much.
To those watching, please follow Team Rayceen on social media and click around our YouTube channel and like, comment, and subscribe.
And viewers, thank you for watching.